What is up, guys? It is AJ from MMA Experts, and this is the UFC Vegas 15 full card predictions and betting odds. Let's get into the first fight of the night. Nate Maness takes on Luke Sanders. Exciting matchup here in the bantamweight division. Nate Maness recently made his debut, looked very solid against Johnny Munoz Jr., who was a very game opponent, and he did win that fight. He did get hit with some low blows earlier on in the fight, definitely probably affected him throughout it, and he did still get the victory in that matchup in his debut. His opponent, Luke Sanders, coming off a win over Renan Barão, has not fought since that victory. He's had a fair amount of a layoff here. Nate Maness been more active as of late. It should be a fun stylistic matchup. I like Maness's striking. I think he's going to have definitely a range advantage. Not a significant advantage as far as the reach goes, but he is the naturally taller guy. I think he's going to be able to use his kickboxing skills well, and I do think he'll work towards a unanimous decision victory in this matchup over Luke Sanders. One thing about Sanders, though, he is a southpaw, but I feel like that could get him caught with a straight right hand because I really do like Nate Maness's straight right. I think he's going to land some good strikes, and I think we will see Nate Maness get a victory in this matchup. As far as betting odds do go, Nate Maness sitting at a slight underdog at plus 125. Luke Sanders, the minus 145. I like the underdog in this matchup. I do believe Nate Maness gets it done and earns himself a second victory inside of the UFC. Now, next fight of the night. Good fight here, honestly. Sue Matarigi takes on Malcolm Gordon. I'm really excited for this matchup. Good flyweight battle here, or rather bantamweight battle, between these two. And honestly, both have a vast array of mixed martial arts skills. And I take that back. This is actually a flyweight battle. I was looking at their last fights. It's bantamweight. This fight is at flyweight. And I'm really excited to actually see this matchup between these two. Malcolm Gordon, very good on the ground. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Also, pretty good Muay Thai skills. Some power in his punches. Definitely a lot of power for a flyweight. His opponent, Sue Matarigi, very nice style. His kicks are beautiful. He controls range excellently, but he has struggled on the mat. And that's why I am riding with the underdog in Malcolm Gordon here. I think we see a submission for Malcolm Gordon, maybe in the second round. I do believe he pulls off the upset in this matchup. As far as betting odds do go, Malcolm Gordon is a strong underdog at a plus 260. You have Sue Matarigi at a minus 320 favorite. Definitely a chance that Sue could fend off the grappling attacks and win this fight. But I really have a feeling that Malcolm Gordon is going to get the victory here. Sue has some submission losses recently. Yes, his last fight against Andre Soukhamthath, he looks excellent on the feet. But granted, it's a different style matchup. And Malcolm Gordon, I believe, is going to use some grappling ability and some skills, maybe possibly get this fight to the mat. I know on the feet, I do believe the advantage, though, does lie with Sue Matarigi. If he's able to keep it up there and avoid the takedown, I think that he probably wins, but I think Gordon will get him down and potentially pull off a submission victory. So I am riding with the underdog in this matchup. Now, as far as the next fight of the night, exciting fight. At the lightweight division, this is Kai Kamaka versus Jonathan Pierce. He's moving up. Kai Kamaka is to the lightweight division. Previously fought at 145 against Tony Kelly. Had a great fight in his debut. It was a back and forth battle. The odds are more widespread than I believe they should be. I know Jonathan Pierce had a pretty rocky debut against Joe Lozon, but he's better than what he showed, I feel. Kai Kamaka a bit undersized here. I could see a potential for Pierce pulling something off, just being the naturally bigger man, but I do think Kai Kamaka has the tools to win. I still have Kamaka winning this fight, but it's not going to be easy. I believe we see Kai Kamaka with a hard-fought decision win. As far as betting on him, it could actually turn out to be a bit of a risk because, as I mentioned, he is undersized, and it seems money has gone in on Jonathan Pierce. Kai Kamaka sitting at a minus 300 favorite. Jonathan Pierce is the plus 250 underdog in this matchup. I like the favorite here, but not extreme strong confidence, and not something I'm saying is a lock pick. I'm not saying go rush and put everything on it, as Jonathan Pierce is definitely a fair amount bigger. You look at the height advantage, it is 5 inches, and he's the natural lightweight here. Now let's move on to the next fight of the night. Good female fight here. The beautiful Rachel Ostovich returns. She takes on Gina Mazni. 4-5 Ostovich, so not the prettiest of records. Mazni 6-4 as a pro, doesn't have the greatest record either. Both coming off losses in their last fights. Rachel Ostovich, I was impressed, even in her loss to Paige VanZant. Her grappling looked pretty good. She was able to get some top control, but Paige Van Zandt was just too versatile with the submission attack, and just was, I believe, too experienced for her. Had fought higher level competition, but she definitely had a good performance for herself in this matchup. Gina Mazni, moving down from bantamweight, suffered a really bad loss to Julia Avila in her last fight in about 20 seconds. She's now moving down to flyweight, though. This fight will be contested at 125. Ostovich's more natural weight class. Mazni moving down. As far as size, we do have a slight advantage for Gina Mazni in the reach and in the height. I'm a little torn here. I want to wait till the weigh-ins to give you guys a final pick because I do want to see these two girls side to side. I like the potential for an Ostovich win, but I gotta be honest with you, the size difference and the experience level is getting me more concerned as we get closer to the fight. I think that I am on the fence about this one. I'm gonna say my original pick was Ostovich, so I guess technically I'll still be riding with her, but I want to see the weigh-ins and I want to see how they look because I believe Gina Mazni, look at that size difference, 5'6", 68.5-inch reach to 5'3" with a 62-inch reach. I don't know. The later in the week this gets, the more I've been thinking about this fight because it's one of those fights that's been on my mind. I could see potential for a Mazni victory. We have seen her out grappled before, but that was against Juliana Pena, who turned out to be one of the top females in the women's bantamweight division. So, leaning Mazni right now. To be honest with you guys, I am switching my pick already to Mazni. I like Ostovich. It could happen. I don't know. I'm gonna skip this one. I'm gonna ride with my original pick was Ostovich, but now I'm starting to think Mazni. When I did pick Ostovich, it was for her to win by a decision. I don't know. Let's wait till weigh-ins. I have Ostovich, but we'll wait till weigh-ins to give you a final prediction on this one because I really don't want to stir you guys wrong here. It's definitely a fight that I see Mazni potentially pulling off. Especially the more I looked at it, I said I have to go back and watch more footage, and I think Mazni may have this one here. As far as betting odds do go, Mazni is becoming a stronger favorite, I believe, as the week goes on. She's a minus 135 favorite. Rachel Ostovich had a plus 115. It's definitely a toss-up fight, and there's potential for both girls. But Mazni might surprise us in here, or rather wouldn't surprise us, but might look better than I would have originally had expected. Next fight of the night, Martin Day takes on Anderson Dos Santos. This should be a fun matchup between these two. I really like Martin Day. He's precise with his boxing. Dos Santos, a guy that comes forward, a guy that comes to fight, decent Thai style. Good array of skills for both men, but I really like Martin Day. Even though he lost his last fight against Davy Grant, I do think he looked good in moments of that fight, did drop Davy Grant. As far as height goes, he has a 5-inch height advantage, but the reach is identical. I'm riding with the favorite in this matchup, Martin Day. I do think he gets it done, probably outpoints him for a decision because Dos Santos is a pretty tough guy. Martin Day is a minus 155 favorite. Anderson Dos Santos, the plus 135 underdog in this matchup. I'm riding with the favorite here. All right, next fight of the night, Ashley Evans Smith takes on Norma Dumont. Intriguing matchup. Dumont, very good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. She's a girl that wants to be on the mat. Ashley Evans Smith has an array of skills and also has a fair amount more experience than Norma. I really like the experience in this fight. I think that Ashley Evans Smith will probably get it done. I wasn't super impressed by Norma. She looked just to get the fight right up against the cage in her debut and looked to get the fight to the mat. But she's going to be fighting a girl with, a vast amount of skills. Good kickboxer, decent power in her punches, and definitely mixes up her strikes very well. Whereas Norma Dumont kind of is more one thing that she wants to do, and that's get this fight to the mat, look for submissions, look for ground and pound. I'm riding with Ashley Evans Smith to win a decision in this matchup. I have her here. As far as betting odds do go, Norma Dumont is now a plus 120 underdog. Ashley Evans Smith a minus 140 favorite, so some money has definitely gone down on Ashley Evans Smith, which I agree with. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think she gets it done here. Now, moving up to the next fight of the night, the first fight on the main card, actually. At least the Tapology confirmed main card. Spike Carlyle, Bill Algeo. It's a fight that really can go either way. Both are very skilled. Algeo a fair amount taller here. He is 4 inches taller than Spike Carlyle. Does have the slight 2.5-inch reach advantage, which could be a factor in this matchup. I like Algeo for his knockout power, and I really do like him as far as grappling skills do go. Or rather, Spike Carlyle for those factors. Bill Algeo, bro, I like him for his rangy style of striking. I like him for his vast array of skills. I like Spike to probably win this fight in a very close decision, but I will not be surprised seeing the fight go the other way. It's one of those fights that on paper, a lot of people I think do have Spike Carlisle. He's the favorite as far as betting lines go. He's the minus 185 favorite to Bill Algeo at a plus 160. But I'm really feeling that there could be an upset here. I'm riding Spike Carlisle to win a decision. Not the strongest of confidence picks. I think Bill Algeo is game as they come, and I think he will make this a very competitive fight either way that it goes here. And I am very excited to see this matchup between these two. I'm riding Carlisle decision, but it could be close here. Next fight of the night. Miguel Blaydes versus Takashi Sato. This, for me, is like a striker's dream match. Blaydes, also Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, though, so don't sleep on him there. Takashi Sato, very skilled, big power in his straight left. He is a southpaw. Miguel Blaydes, he looked very good against Matt Brown, but he was dropped and hurt. I think there's a chance for a Takashi Sato upset in this matchup. Now, Blaydes will have the height advantage by 4 inches, which I think is going to give him the range advantage, obviously, with the legs. As far as the reach does go, he has a 1.5 inch reach advantage. This is another fight that I was still on the fence. The more the week goes on, the more I continue to research. I want to give you guys another final pick. I want to see how they look at weigh-ins. I originally rided with Takashi Sato, and I predicted he would get a TKO in the second, but I really need to see these guys side by side because I do feel that Miguel Blaydes does have a very dynamic kickboxing skill set. So I'm definitely leaning towards the switch of the pick for Miguel Blaydes. And as far as weigh-ins will go, that will kind of give me even more insight to who I believe is going to win the fight when I see them side by side. As of right now, I think it's a true toss-up. And I do think that there's a strong possibility that Sato could knock him out. I have Takashi Sato winning by knockout in the second round. Originally, I would say it's one of those I would wait until we see weigh-ins to put money down on this fight. That is my opinion on this matchup. As far as the betting odds go, Blaydes has gotten a slight bigger favorite now. He's sitting at a minus 150. Takashi Sato at a plus 130. It's actually gotten smaller. So people are seeing what I brought up with Sato. I do think he has a legitimate chance in this matchup to win. But I wouldn't say an absolute lock of an underdog. I think it's very competitive. Next fight of the night. Good fight. Heavyweight battle. Unfortunately, the fight I was honestly maybe most looking forward to, Amir Albazi's fight versus Zhalgas got canceled, which I was really disappointed because I was super pumped to talk about that fight. I was super pumped to see that fight, but it's not going to happen. We have Josh Parisian, Parker Porter here. Massive heavyweights collide. Both men come to the upper limit. With Parker Porter, I mean, you have a guy that is a pretty decent kickboxer from what I've seen, does have a fair amount of punching power, big overhand right that he can catch his opponents with. And I mean, as big as his base is, if he gets on top, the man will stay on top. He's very heavy when he's on top of opponents. As far as his opponent, though, Josh Parisian, a very good kickboxer, excellent leg kicks. But honestly, what I really like about Josh Parisian is he moves well for a heavyweight, and especially a 265-pound heavyweight. He's very fast, and he's light on his feet. In this matchup, I think he beats Parker Porter by TKO in the third round. I don't think it's an easy fight. I think Porter could potentially land some big punches and even have his moments here, but I do think we still see Josh Parisian getting the victory when all things are finished. As far as the betting odds, Josh Parisian a minus 200 favorite to Parker Porter at the plus 170 underdog. I like the favorite here in Josh Parisian to win this one. As far as the next fight of the night, Anthony Lionheart Smith takes on Devin the Brown Bear Clark. This is an exciting matchup. Devin Clark, a bit more of a one-trick pony. He's a wrestler. He's going to look to get this fight against the cage, look to get it to the mat, clinch up. And when they break from the clinch exchanges, he's going to be throwing massive looping shots. Anthony Smith, very good kickboxer, rangy striker, knockout power, beautiful kicking game. I mean, the guy has some excellent knockout victories, especially in the middleweight division, has some big wins at light heavyweight. He's a versatile mixed martial artist who has lost 2 straight fights, but I don't think that should be a significant knock. I think in this matchup, Anthony Smith, as long as he can fend off the grappling attacks of Devin Clark, Anthony Smith will win here. He's making a quick turnaround once again. He hasn't taken that significant amount of time off since the Alexander Rakic fight, so I am riding Anthony Smith. I think he wins. I think he does get a stoppage. I think he's going to land some big strikes on the chin of his opponent here. I think we're looking at a TKO or knockout in the second round for Anthony Smith. As far as the betting lines, Anthony Smith is a minus 135 favorite. Devin Clark, the plus 115 underdog. I like the favorite, Anthony Smith, in this matchup. As far as the main event of the evening goes, clash of styles here between these two. You have Derek Lewis, the knockout artist, one punch, a guy that, wants to strike. He's primarily a striker, but he is decent on the ground, has some decent grappling defense. He's obviously a massive guy that comes in at 265 for pretty much all of his fights. His opponent here, Curtis Blaydes, excellent wrestler, also comes in at the upper heavyweight limit at 260, sometimes in the 250s. He's 6'4", will have a 1-inch height and reach advantage in favor of Curtis Blaydes here. I like the wrestling of Blaydes. I think he gets this fight to the mat. I think he works a lot of ground and pound. I don't think Derek Lewis will have an answer to that grappling ability of Curtis Blaydes. I think he's going to put him on his back numerous times, and if Derek Lewis is able to get up, he will put him down again and again. And I think when he gets on top, he isn't on load, so some good ground and pound, but I also don't think Curtis Blaydes would be opposed of just gassing out Derek Lewis over the course of 5 rounds. I still think we'll get a TKO victory for Curtis Blaydes, I believe around the 3rd. I could also potentially see him locking up a submission, but I will say Derek Lewis, not an easy guy to tap out. He's a massive human being. But if you look at his last few fights, he's fought grapplers. He has won against all 3, 2 of which, Blagoy Ivanov and Ilir Latifi, are decisions that kind of could have gone either way. I like Curtis Blaydes to win this matchup. I think he gets the fight to the mat. I think he dominates. He's a lot more effective with his wrestling than either one of those recent opponents for Derek Lewis. And if you look at Derek Lewis's last fight, he looked excellent. He got a big knockout win over Alessio Oleinik. Curtis Blaydes is significantly bigger than Oleinik and a significantly better wrestler and striker than Alessio Oleinik. I have Curtis Blaydes here, TKO, round number 3. He is the favorite, as was expected in this matchup, minus 370 to Derek Lewis at a plus 310. I have Blaydes. He gets it done. I cannot wait to see this fight. It should be absolute fireworks, or potentially not absolute fireworks, but it should be absolutely exciting to see these two in here. I mean, with Derek Lewis, there's always a chance of fireworks. With Curtis Blaydes, we might get a wrestling-heavy attack, or you may have him mix in some striking with the takedowns or potentially knock out Derek Lewis. But I'm predicting 3rd round TKO victory, expecting it to be on the ground. I have Curtis Blaydes. That was the full card predictions for this UFC Vegas 15 card. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned. I do have the weigh-in recap and final predictions coming out. Really am excited to see all the fighters face off and to see some of the size differences in person rather than just what the stats have them as. Subscribe. If you guys are looking to play some bets, hit the MyBookie referral link in the description. Also, guys, check out my social media, Instagram, Twitter, and I'll see you all in the next video.